All right, welcome everyone to a special Prep Huddle Live here on Friday night. Just wrapped up girls district finals for all classes tonight, and we're excited to bring you this kind of last minute show. Tony had an idea, and Tony, we made it happen. So and we appreciate. We've got a Coach Kern from the York Dukes on the line as well. And Coach is on the bus, and appreciate the time, Coach, and congrats on the win tonight over Beatrice.
No, thanks a bunch, guys. Yeah, this is a great idea. I think it's awesome that you're promoting high school basketball, and it was a great night for the Dukes.
Awesome. Coach Kern, we'll talk about tonight, and I guess maybe even your district performance overall. You woke up a little bit the last week of the regular season. I know you avenged 2 losses to go to state. That probably makes it feel even a little bit better, doesn't it?
I can't agree more. You know, it's funny because you hit that stretch. You lose a couple at the end of the year, and you're just not sure where we're at. But this group of girls, they're pretty special, and they know what they're doing. And you hate losing those games late in the year, but they came into this tournament pretty locked in mentally and focused. And, you know, it's funny because we did the same thing last year. We lost to Beatrice and Holdridge back-to-back nights and then went and won the district title. So it's kind of brings back some great memories from last year. But this is just a great group, and they're very unique in their own way, and it's well-earned.
I guess if you could, I was actually at the Holdridge Hastings High game tonight and was following along on Twitter a little bit, and I noticed that it was a really tight game, tied at halftime at 24, and it sounded like you made a big 3-point basket maybe early in the fourth quarter. Can you just talk about how things transpired down the stretch?
You know, and Beatrice, what a great team they are. They came out on us they're pretty aggressive. They took a little lead early in the game, and we fought back from that, which was huge. Got it pretty close, obviously, at half. And then, early in we hit some big shots in the fourth quarter. And Emma Grenfell had a couple big ones and hit some clutch free throws down the stretch. Jordan Stearns had a couple threes that were big. There was some good shooting tonight, and Kate Hansen, I can't say enough about her either. There were just a lot of girls hitting shots tonight, and when we're hitting, we're as dangerous as anybody. We've got so many great shooters, and down the stretch, I don't remember all the details as much right now. It's bad, but it got to a point where we stretched it because it was always just like 1-point game most of the way, but we stretched it with a big 3, and you're looking at a 4 and then 5-point game, and then it just sat there. And when it's sitting there, you feel pretty confident. They couldn't score. Defense had locked in pretty well, and we made our free throws when it mattered.
Coach, it looks like I'm just kind of going through, and you might be able to help us out here. Looks like the field is set, and I know you're probably right. Don't care who you're going to play, but looks like Elkhorn South had a 40-37 win in the B2. Lincoln Pius was a 50-36 winner over Platteview. Elkhorn wins. You guys are in. I had Hastings. They beat Holdridge and played really well, a 52-41 win. If you're sitting down on the bus, Hastings had 50 rebounds in that game. It was a physical battle. They out-rebounded Holdridge 50-21. And then Scotts Bluff, maybe minor, a little upset out there. Scotts Bluff, the B6. So you probably have Hastings and Scotts Bluff as the 7 and 8 seeds. Do you have any idea where you're gonna land here, 3rd or 4th as the seed? Is that kind of where you're thinking?
Yes, we look. It looks like the 3 seed playing Elkhorn. That's what we've all got. That's kind of where we're at with it. The numbers that we've seen. I wasn't sure I think Platteview was going to get in as a wild card. I know there's a lot of people saying Gross might, but I saw Platteview as a wild card, and they so 2-7 would be Norris Hastings. And I'll tell you what, we were talking about that here on the bus. That Hastings team, they're just starting to come into their own. I know they're pretty young, and we played them earlier in the year, and they gave us everything that we could handle. And we got threes, or we weren't going to get out of their gym alive. So that was a good win for us back then because we could tell that was going to be a good team, and they play a pretty tough schedule, playing to like Columbus multiple times and Elkhorn South, and they learned from that, obviously. But, so that looks like that's 2-7, so you got Scotts Bluff and the 1-8 with Pius will be the 3-6, which would make the 4-5 South versus Platteview.
Right. Very good. Well, I think is Elkhorn maybe did you play Elkhorn or Elkhorn South in your holiday tournament? I think it was Elkhorn. That'd be a rematch from that holiday tournament game. Am I right there?
That's exactly right. And that Elkhorn team, they got great guard play with that Mountain girl, but they got us. They played us well, and they took it to us. But this team, I think, will they thrive on the idea of the rematch. And the Beatrice game, obviously, the rematch here, and the idea of playing Elkhorn again, we're just fine with that. And they're obviously.
Oh, well.
Did I lose?
Yeah, we might have lost him. I was wondering if that was going to happen. Lost him on the road home. There's a little dead spot on I-80, but. Appreciate Coach Kern. That happens. This was totally random to get him on. We messaged him on Twitter and appreciate Coach Kern. Congratulations on the win tonight, 52-46 over Beatrice and Lincoln, and they will head back to the state tournament. And appreciate also want to give shout out to Jason Goystein and DJ for doing that game. And well, looks like Coach Kern maybe is trying to call me back. So we'll maybe I'll text him. But let's go ahead, Tony. I'm going to try to we've got Monica Smith, the head coach of Sutton girls, going to try to get her on the line. If you want to run through some other scores.
I'll just start running through. You bet. Absolutely. Of course, really quickly, just to go through in Class A, all of those district finals were last night, except tonight. Omaha Benson beat Millard South 68-33, and that's a game, Taylor, that kind of had some strive implications. That win by Omaha Benson allows Millard South to be the wild card in Class A. So it looks like unofficially Millard South would be the 6th seed. And I think they would play South Sioux City, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to double check where they fell there. It looks like Millard West. No, I apologize. It looks like they'll play Omaha West Side as the 3-6 game, and so the field then is Omaha Benson undefeated 25-0. They'll take on Norfolk, who won Millard West District. Norfolk will be the 8th seed. Lincoln Northeast will take on Kearney, who's the 7th seed. Omaha West Side and Millard West would be the 3-6 game, and then the 4-5 game will be South Sioux City and Bellevue West. And then just really quickly again to recap those B districts, your district champions are Lincoln Pius in the B1, Elkhorn South in the B2, Elkhorn in B3. York wins 52-46 over Beatrice at Lincoln Southwest. And Hastings and Scotts Bluff are the two Western teams in B5. And Scotts Bluff defeats Sidney, who was the 1 seed in that district. Scotts Bluff will come to Lincoln with a 10-12 record. They beat Sidney 40-36. So that kind of resets A and B. Those fields are set, and I know we'll hopefully be able to get into Class C1 and C2 here pretty quickly. Taylor, do you have Monica on the line yet, or do you want to take a break, or how'd you want to?
Yeah, I'll have to go to commercial here. As always, we're presented by Cornerstone Bank. Appreciate those of you if you're watching live, or probably most of you watching the recording here. We just had Coach Kern of the York Dukes on and talking about their win tonight over Beatrice, and going to get Monica Smith, head coach of Sutton Fillies, who they defeated Nebraska Christian 45-28 tonight. They're at Pizza Hut. And I just messaged her, and we'll get her on after the Cornerstone commercial and chat with her a little bit about their district title and back to state for the Fillies. So we will be right back. You're watching Prep Huddle Live on StriveSports.com.
Yeah, I get it. For the little things. Technology's great. It makes things easier. It's faster. We can get things done wherever we go. And we get all that from our bank. It works for us. But for the bigger things, the things that really count, I still want to talk to the people I know and trust. That's why I'm here. Yeah, I get it. For the little things. Technology's great. It makes things easier. It's faster. We can get things done wherever we go. And we get all that from our bank. It works for us. But for the bigger things, the things that really count, I still want to talk to the people I know and trust. That's why I'm here.
All right, we're back here on Prep Huddle Live on StriveSports.com, our special edition here on a Friday night after the girls' district finals games. And we are excited to have Monica Smith, the head girls basketball coach at Sutton, on the line after they won their district title tonight, 45-28, as they defeated Nebraska Christian. And, Coach, got some pizza, got the girls fed. How's it going?
It's going well, thanks.
Good.
Coach, there's nothing like going to Lincoln. Talk about your game tonight. I was trying to follow along on Twitter as I was at another district final. It looked like you got off to maybe a little bit of slow start, but your pressure kind of wore on them as the game went on. Can you talk about your win against Nebraska Christian tonight?
Yeah, we couldn't shoot the ball. We didn't shoot the ball well at all the first half. I think going into halftime we were like 8 for 38 from the field or something, and basically we knew we had to get some baskets so that we could get into our pressure or our full court press defense. And second half we came out, we kind of finally got a few buckets so we could get into that press. And we've kind of lived and died off of our pressure all year. And so once we were able to get into that, we were able to disrupt what they were trying to do a little bit and get some easy buckets, get some confidence, and kind of get the ball rolling in our direction.
Coach, what have you I'm sure being a coach, you probably haven't looked ahead to what's gonna happen in Lincoln, but any ideas on where you guys might sit in the bracket at state, having kind of looked at the points or not?
Not exactly, no. I think probably we're going to stay around the 6th seed, but not sure opponent wise who we'll see right now. So.
You know, it looked like one game that might affect your seeding a little bit. I don't know if UTAN's win over Freeman would adjust the seeding at all, but I'm sure you guys, the Sutton tradition, and there's no reason to be afraid of anybody down there. Am I right?
Yeah, that's right. We're just excited right now. We're just excited that we're getting the opportunity to go up there. Obviously. Not every team gets to do this, and this is our second trip in 3 years. So this group of kids is pretty excited to get up there. And I wouldn't say that we're scared of anyone that's up there, but we're excited to figure out who it is for sure and get going, preparing for them and get the information to the kids and get to work again. So we'll wait by the phone until tomorrow morning and see who we got and go from there.
Well, Coach, I know it's been a great run for you since the calendar turned to January. You guys are playing really well with the conference championship and now a district title to add to it. So we wish you well in Lincoln, and hopefully we'll get to see you down there and watch you play a little bit. Thanks for being on with us.
Sounds great. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Monica.
Yep.
Have a great night.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Great to have Coach Smith on, and great win for them tonight over Nebraska Christian in Aurora was tonight, and they won that game 45-28. And as Tony, as you mentioned, they really had control of that in the second half, and kind of I looked at a couple of tweets. They had forced over 20 turnovers, I think, on Nebraska Christian in the second half. So,
yeah. Taylor, I think I know we're going to have Terry Douglas, reporter for the Grand Island Independent, come on with us. He was at the Kearney Catholic Central City game earlier tonight, a game that Kearney Catholic kind of took control of in the second half. We'll talk with him about that game. So he said he's ready to go.
Okay.
I don't know if I think maybe I'll run through the C and D scores really quick if you want to, and then maybe we can break and grab Terry on the line here in a minute. Does that work?
Yeah, why don't you go ahead? I'm just going to – people will see some stuff come up on your screen, and we'll do it live here instead of taking a break if you want, and I will just get him on. So
sounds good.
I'll let you talk. I'll get him.
Awesome. And a tough night for our three Strive schools, but they played probably the top three teams in the class there. So Falls City is the C1 one champ, or Omaha Concordias. They beat Fall City 45-28 in the District 1 championship. In the District 2 championship, it's Lincoln Christian, who I believe is number 1 ranked in the class. They beat Fairbury 57-35.
Sorry, Tony, you're going to hear some ringing here, so I apologize to cut you off there.
That's okay.
So he may
Bishop
answer,
Newman.
right?
We'll get Terry on here in a second. I'll just let it ring.
Okay. Sorry about that. I didn't know how that
Hello?
worked. Hey, Terry, this is Taylor Siebert and Tony Chapman. How's it going?
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Good. You are live on PrepHuddleLIVE on StriveSports.com. Appreciate you coming on the show here, and I'll let you and Tony chat it up as you were out in Hastings, I believe, for the Kearney Catholic Central City girls game.
Howdy ho, neighbor.
Yes, C15. How you doing, Tony?
Good. Yeah, I noticed as I was in Grand Island at Senior High tonight, was following that game on Twitter, and it looked like you had a pretty good first 16 minutes, and then talk about Kearney Catholic really taking control of this game, Central City, in the second half.
Yeah, it's as a guy who was worked for the Hastings paper in the 1990s. The Kearney Catholic squad really reminds me a lot of some of Russ Nymeyer's Sandy Creek girls basketball teams he had during that dynasty. They've got 10 athletes. They just keep coming at you with pressure, full court pressure, just kind of relentless. And Central City really did a decent job of handling that in the first half. In 19-15, Kearney Catholic at halftime, and Central City did have 11 turnovers at that point. It was kind of doing all right, staying in the game. The second half, where things really sort of got away, and talking to Kearney Catholic coach Rick Petrie afterwards, he mentioned that their strategy in the second half was to really jump and trap some of Central City's ball handlers that maybe weren't the primary ball handlers. And they were pretty effective with that. 20 of Central City's 31 turnovers came in the second half, and Bison just really struggled after that. Shot 20.5% for the game. That's 8 of 39. So the things didn't play out like Bison would have wanted to in the second half.
Terry, introduce us. I think Kearney Catholic probably one of 3 teams that probably has a shot of winning the C1 crown. You look at Lincoln Christian and Kearney Catholic, and of course the team Kearney Catholic already beat in the sub-district final, Minden. You introduce us to who some of their players were, some of their key players tonight, and who does the scoring for them. If they've got 10 deep, maybe it can be anybody at any given time, I guess.
That's exactly the case. Actually, an old college buddy of mine, Tim Teal, was an assistant coach on the squad, so I'm pretty familiar with him just from staying in touch with him. And he's got twin daughters on the team, and so, but that is certainly the case with Kearney Catholic. They are not reliant on on any one person. There certainly could be a team that could have an injury to maybe a starter, or survive a bad night from starters, and that was certainly the case tonight. In fact, 2 of probably their better offensive performances came from players off the bench. Morgan Teal came off the bench, had 3 3-pointers, really kind of sparked Kearney Catholic. And then Kate Long, she's a 6-foot sophomore. She comes off the bench and gives Kearney Catholic 8 points and 8 rebounds. And the Stars also got 10 points from starter Anna Squires. But they're certainly capable of anybody leading them score on any different night. A lot of different players who can handle the ball and drive. As I mentioned, Anna Squires with 10 points, and she's 5'10", a sophomore, and plays the post position, but really has the ability to slash and drive, and she's a very difficult matchup for a traditional post player.
UNK volleyball coach Rick Squire's daughter, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
Yeah, I believe that is correct. And, he has a couple of them still remaining on the squad there that played tonight.
So if you're old like Terry and I, do the Teal girls in Wahoo at Bishop Newman, do they also play basketball, Terry?
Yeah, they are. That is, Tim's older brother, Kevin,
Right.
his kids up there in Wahoo. So you know, and I have discussed this before. Just a tremendously athletic family with, of course, the Teals and being involved in Clearwater's basketball dynasty in the '80s, and then you know, having athletes that you know, winning state volleyball championships. Related, they're also cousins to the Reinertsons from Gibbon, which you know, people follow the prep and scene around Central Nebraska know the Reinertsons both from the basketball and golf, and then also related to the Teals from Aurora. So
okay, I was wondering about
quite
that.
an athletic family. Yeah,
very
exactly.
athletic family.
Of
course, Grandma and Grandpa will have one gym to be at. Bishop Newman beat Strive School North Bend Central tonight, 65-44. So it looks like unofficially, I'm just going to kind of run through and guess the C1 field here. It looks like Kearney Catholic would take the 1 seed with this win over Central City being a little bit better than Lincoln Christians over Fairbury. So Kearney Catholic will be the 1 seed. It looks like they would play Shadron, who would be the 8th seed and won District 6. They beat Ainsworth 46-39. And then it looks like Lincoln Christian would be the 2 seed, would play Bishop Newman. So a little Centennial Conference matchup there. Looks like Minden will grab a wild card at 22-2, be the 3 seed there. And it looks like, I'm trying to find, so who would be, you know what, I've screwed up here though. I think I've not allowed for Omaha Concordia. Where would they fall? Actually, Omaha Concordia is going to be the 8 seed. They'll be the 8 seed and play Kearney Catholic. Shadron will play Lincoln Christian. Minden will play Bishop Newman. Boy, that'll be really fun. And then Norfolk Catholic will be the 4 seed, and they will play. Looks like they would play the other wild card, and it looks like at this point that's going to be West Point Beamer. So that would be. Well, you never know. It might be Stanton. I'm just looking. West Point Beamer lost Norfolk Catholic tonight, so that loss might drop them behind Stanton. So either way, it's probably going to be a district rematch there. So that C1 field is loaded. I'd say maybe up to 6 teams might have a chance to win that one. Terry, I know that people can follow you on Twitter, and
I apologize, Terry. I tweeted something out and I didn't tag you there, so I apologize for that.
They can follow you on Twitter, and I know Terry will be doing coverage for the Omaha World-Herald next week in Lincoln. We'll probably see you down there, man.
All right, guys. Yep.
Thanks for coming on. I hope you make deadline.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Terry.
Have a good night.
You bet.
See ya.
All right.
All right. Thanks.
Awesome.
He's your next door neighbor, right?
My next door neighbor, the man who taught me how to write. To be honest with you,
that's pretty cool.
About everything I have in sports writing to that guy right there. So
yeah, we need to have him on maybe next week too. I don't know if he'll know which games he's covering, or does he have a class?
He'll probably find out. Yeah, he'll probably find out. He'll probably be at a gym. That's usually how they do that. So he'll probably have a class he's responsible for. Cool. Would be my guess. Yeah.
All right.
So I don't know if we have time for one more break, Taylor. I could catch my breath and we could reset Class D.
Okay.
I think we might have some good news in Class D for Hampton Hawk fans as we look at the possible pairings for Class D. So I don't know if you could maybe run Cornerstone Bank again. That would be great, and then we could reset Class D and then get ready for next week. So.
Sounds good. All right, thanks for tuning in here. And as you can see, we've got a cool little Twitter feed going of the NEB Preps hashtag down there, seeing some scores and stuff. As always, you can follow us on Twitter at Strive Sports. You're watching Prep Huddle Live here on StriveSports.com. We'll be right back after we hear from our sponsor, Cornerstone Bank.
Yeah, I get it. For the little things. Technology's great. It makes things easier. It's faster. We can get things done wherever we go. And we get all that from our bank. It works for us. But for the bigger things, the things that really count, I still want to talk to the people I know and trust. That's why I'm here.
All right, we are back on Prep Huddle Live with our girls district final recap show. We wanted to reset Class D here, and then we'll kind of preview boys districts and get ready for. We'll have a preview show for girls state basketball on Wednesday. So here are the finals in Class D1. In District 1, Friend beats Bruning Davenport Shickley 49-45. So Friend, who just joined Strive here, middle of January, Taylor?
Yeah, right towards the end they got, I'm not for sure, they maybe got one girls game stream. So pretty exciting for them.
Yeah, we look forward to seeing those guys down at state and interacting with some of their athletes. I know we had a great time interacting with their athletes at state wrestling. Boy, that was really fun, the run they had in Omaha. So the Friend girls held the District 1 champions with a 49-45 win over BDS. In District 2, Howells Dodge beats Humphrey St. Francis 56-53. St. Francis, you'll remember, beat Fullerton in the sub-district final. In District 3, Emerson Hubbard is a 56-46 winner over Strive School Creighton. St. Mary's, I got to check this. They beat South Loop 66-17. I think I saw on Twitter that they were ahead 43-2 at the half of that game. So St. Mary's
that's D
off
D1.
That's running deep. So Blue Hill beats Axtell 50-27, and then our friends out west at Dundee County Stratton continue their perfect season, 72-40 win over Brady at Cambridge High. So it looks like, again, I'll just try to be Mr. Unofficial here. St. Mary's will hold on to the 1 seed, actually, even with a 21-2 record. They're just slightly ahead of Dundee County Stratton, who will be the 2 seed. So just do my math there. Emerson Hubbard would be the 3 seed. Blue Hill and Fullerton are right there, 4 and 5 right now. It looks like to me that Blue Hill might advance Fullerton just slightly and possibly get the 4 seed. But I would say no matter what, it looks like Blue Hill will play Fullerton in a 4-5 game. Blue Hill has a wild card in Class D1 there. And then Humphrey St. Francis, who beat Fullerton. Fullerton beat them twice, and then St. Francis beat them in the sub. It looks like St. Francis will be the other wild card because Howells Dodge beats them tonight, and Howells Dodge probably actually leaped them to get the 6. So I'm guessing it would be Howells Dodge would be the 6th seed, and they would play Emerson Hubbard, and that drops St. Francis then to the 7 seed, and that would be a really fun matchup. They'll play Dundee County Stratton.
Wow.
So
Cool.
Dundee County Stratton 26-0. Looks like we'll play Humphrey St. Francis, who would be 21-5 in the 2-7 game, and then Friend at 20-5 will be the 8th seed. So you have a very rare occurrence, Taylor. You have the top 8 seeds in the points as the qualifiers for the state championship. So they can't complain in D1.
Yep,
they got it all right. So the top 8 seeds in D1, it appears, will go to the state championship, and that would leave with a matchup against St. Mary's at 21-2. Here's the other thing you'll have, Taylor, in Class D1. You will have 8 teams who won 20 games.
That's what I was just going to say.
All 8 teams won 20 games. The worst, I guess, winning percentage would be Howells Dodge at 20-6. Not too shabby, huh?
Nope.
So that's what it looks like in Class D1. The top 8 teams make it. Let's scroll down to Class D2. So in Class D2, in District 1, Hampton beat Strive School Fall City Sacred Heart 53-23. Sacred Heart is as good as advertised, it appears. Again, they've not lost to anybody in D2 this year. Their 2 losses were up, 1 to Friend in D1 and 1 to Freeman in Class C2. So they take a 53-20 win from Hampton in the District 1 final. Wynot beat Stewart 53-52. Wynot was number 2 in points, and Stewart was number 5 in points. So, but it looks like Stewart will be one wild card, and Hampton will be the other wild card. Everything else went to form. So you had in District 4, you had Sandhill Thedford beat Bertrand 50-43. In District 3, Giltner beat Spalding Academy 51-40. Mullen in District 5 beat Juanita Palisade 60-50. And out west, Crawford beat Layton 49-42. So let's see if we can find where everybody is here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So in D2, you're actually going to have 8 of the top 9 seeds. And to be honest with you, Crawford is probably going to end up 8th in points. And so you'll have the top 8 teams in Class D2 as well.
Okay.
So we will go. Falls City Sacred Heart has a huge edge on the number 1 seed there. So it looks like Falls City Sacred Heart at 24-2 will play Crawford, who is 21-3. Crawford will be the 8th seed. I'm going to say that Giltner probably jumped Hampton for the 6-7 seed. So Hampton, I'm going to say unofficially, would be the 7th seed, and it looks like they will play Wynot, who's 20-5, and again by 1 point tonight. Now it looks like Mullen will hold on to the 3rd seed, and they will play Giltner in the 3-6 game, and then the 4-5 game would be Sandhill, Stedford, and Stewart in Class D2. So if we I think they have, I don't know if we want to maybe try to reset. We could get pretty close to, a kind of a layout of state here. For next week, they've got kind of a bracket penciled out.
Oh, yeah.
So if Hampton is the 7th seed, Taylor, as we're suggesting, it looks like it would put them 8:45 in the night game at Lincoln Southwest, the 8:45 tip. And what did we have? Friend as projected as the 8th seed would put them at a 2 o'clock game. In D1, in the 1-8 game, I think I have that right.
Yeah, Lincoln North Star.
In D1, I have that as actually that would be their semifinal game. There'd be a 2 o'clock tip on Thursday. We would see Dundee County Stratton and Humphrey St. Francis start the day at Lincoln Southwest on a 9 a.m. tip. So that'd be one that maybe you and I could see there. And then Friend would be a 2 o'clock game. Sutton, we thought maybe would be about a 6 seed in C2, which would put them opposite Hampton at Lincoln North Star as a 6 seed there. We'd probably have Millard West at 7 o'clock, the 6 seed in A, and then we thought looks like York will be at the Sports Center at 7 o'clock, and I'm guessing knowing those good kids over at York, that'll probably audio that one on Strive.
Yep.
That looks like York will be at the Sports Center, and then that might round it out for us. I think maybe.
Yeah, no
looks
C1.
Like no C1, and just Sutton, I believe, in C2.
Yep. And
then 2 in D1, so we'd have the 9 and the 2 o'clock. So lock us in if you're from County Stratton. Lock Taylor and I in for that 9 o'clock game at Lincoln Southwest. I think we'll be there. That should be a really good game. I'm sorry. You know who we forgot is Fullerton.
Oh, yeah.
Fullerton would play. Yeah, Fullerton would play in that. I believe we thought they'd be in that 4-5 game. Yep. It looks like
3:45.
That'd be a 3:45 tip. So they would play. We would have 3 of the 4 games. Covered there in D1. So Taylor, get your tires ready. You'll probably know exactly how to get to Lincoln Southwest.
That's right.
On Thursday. So those will go official tomorrow morning, and we'll probably tweet out a link to those once they get posted, and we can kind of finalize our coverage of what we'll be doing this week and have a full preview of state basketball on Wednesday night.
Awesome. And we will fancy up those brackets as well. Probably on Monday with some cool graphics and put them on Facebook and Twitter so you can share those. And like Tony said, we'll be down there Thursday, and I'll probably be there Friday, and then we'll let NET do most of the coverage on Saturday. You can watch those as always, and then we'll gear up for boys the next week. Exciting time. Appreciate you guys coming in, tuning in. If you watch live or you're watching the recording, we appreciate the support, and huge thanks to Coach Kern of the York Dukes, Lady Dukes. Congrats to them on their win tonight over Beatrice, and also Coach Smith, Monica Smith of the Sutton Fillies on their win, and headed back to state as well. So, Tony, I think we'll sign out and pop this up on the YouTube channel and put it out on Twitter. And Terry Douglas, want to thank him for popping on the show too, and giving us a recap of that Central City Kearney Catholic game. And we will see you guys probably here on Wednesday, and we'll have a show planned and maybe some more coaches on, and kind of previewing the state tournament a little bit more in depth as we know the official seeds. So anything else, Tony, or else we'll go ahead and sign off and head to bed.
Thanks, Taylor.
All right, thanks for watching, everyone. Appreciate you tuning in here on Prep Huddle Live on StriveSports.com.